know what made me want to go and research Digimon, but I ended up on the wiki. And fucking Apocalypse just transforms into Satan. He turns into Baphomet. He's this creepy goat man thing.
Digimon's freaking weird. And isn't Apocalypse the last boss of the first season of Digimon?
Yeah, I think, yeah. And, I like when something is big evil and then it shrinks down into a smaller form, but it's stronger. And it's like, oh.
It's like, oh shit. It's like the power's contained.
It's like Frieza.
Yeah.
For instance.
That's one thing that I noticed when I was playing Dragon.
But then it has another transformation and it looks big and dumb again. And I'm like, they should have just stuck with fucking Baphometmon over here.
That sucks. Like, I was playing Dragon Ball, like Hyper Dragon Ball Z with Spencer. That's one of our new kicks right now. Is that game, which is really good, by the way, especially for fucking a Mugen. Holy crap! But like, Frieza in that game has this really elaborate intro where he's just going through literally all the forms. And it's like a whole minute long. And that's an intro. A whole minute. Like, it's like, maybe you went too hard on this intro. As he's like, this is my first form. And then just grows. Form 2 becomes the evil monkey Frieza. And then, like, just... And then just final form.
There's regular Frieza, there's Big Bull Frieza, there's fucking Xenomorph Frieza, and then final form.
And then Gold Frieza, which is not playable in this game, but funny enough is actually I think it's one of his end quotes. Is that he becomes Gold Frieza.
It's probably just gonna be a color swap.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel like they can't not, like, I mean, Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta and Goku are I think they're in the game. I'm pretty sure they are. Just like their alternate costumes, though.
It's not like they get different moves. It's not like they learn any different moves. They just...
That is like really one of the more disappointing things about Dragon Ball Super is that they get these new transformations. They don't really do anything new with them. They're just kind of... It's like, hey, we got a stat boost. That's really it.
Yeah, Vegeta ain't making a new Ki Blast in a long time. You need to get on that.
He used to be the king of that. Yep. He has like the most moves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I actually did start watching that dubbed. The dub's really good.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It's on Toonami now, isn't it?
It's only like 5 episodes in. The dub's really good. I don't like Goten's voice. He sounds like a goddamn pig. I don't know how else to say it. Like, it sucks. Young Trunks sounds fine though. No complaints there. Or Bulma. All the Dragon Ball Z Kai voice actors are pretty much here. They're much better now, though. I feel like they fit into the role. Apparently, Piccolo's voiced by the voice actor of Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
Huh.
I looked on, like, behind the voice actors. Hold on, let me actually just get that up. Because for future reference, I'm going to need to know his name. Nah, just because, like, that's going to go into something I talk to a little later. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, Piccolo, I mean, he hasn't had much lines, so I couldn't really tell. But, like, if the few lines are anything to go by, he does a pretty damn good job as Piccolo. I'm guessing Chris Sabat probably had other shit to do and can only voice Vegeta. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like, which, you know, I mean, that makes sense. He's got a lot to do. He's got a lot on his plate. He's a pretty well... Ray Chase. That's his name. Yeah, he also does Puri Puri Prisoner and Dr. Genius from One Punch Man, Hanzo and Garetta from Hunter x Hunter, Hauser from Seven Deadly Sins. Oh, yeah, he's pretty new, actually.
Up and coming, too.
He does an Etrigan in Justice League Dark. And then there's our little anime boy, Noctis.
Fucking sleepy dumbass.
Oh, shit. He does Cinder and Arbiter in fucking Killer Instinct. That's crazy. Huh. This guy has a lot of fucking range. He's a talented dude. But, yeah, he does Piccolo, and the dub sounds really good. Not much complaint.
Yeah, I couldn't wait any longer. I had to I was like, I'm going. I gotta watch it. Hype stuff's happening right now.
Leon just got in there like, here it goes.
Yeah, I was like, hype stuff's happening right now, and I don't want to get spoiled.
gotta dive in there.
So I gotta go. I will get used to the Japanese voices. Just go. I did.
Yeah, I've pretty much been spoiled of some of the stuff that happens. Not everything, but like a lot of like key things.
Yeah, I guess it's a testament to how well she voice acts that I got used to freaking Grandma Goku.
Yeah, I'm still not like, even though I've heard it for years by now, I'm still not like, I don't know, just like Sean Schemmel is Goku to me. He forever will be. Probably because like, you know, that's just what I grew up with. That's what I was exposed to. You know, just like anything. Like, hey, Chris Sabat is not Bato. I love you, Chris Sabat, but you're not the OG. And now his voice actor's fucking
What?
Bato's voice actor's escaping me. That sucks. Like,
but yeah, I could back to fucking Dragon Ball Super. I can't wait till that new arc starts up.
Yeah, I hear it's gonna be really cool. It's like Android 17 and 18 are gonna be doing stuff finally.
Yeah,
and Gohan.
The universe, the current Dragon Ball Z universe's team is gonna comprise of 17 and 18, Piccolo, Krillin, Master Roshi for some reason. Who else? Boo and Gohan.
It's going to be cool. Yeah, Richard Epcar is the old Bato. Now the new one's Chris Sabat. And, you know, I like Bato.
Oh, yeah, Vegeta, of course.
Yeah. I like Bato with the green eyes, not the gray eyes. I mean, I like the gray eyes, not the green eyes. That's all I gotta say. Anyway. Ghost in the Shell Rise is not very good.
And fucking Broly confirmed.
Yeah, Fem Broly.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That, like, how much further do you go? Because you now have Super Saiyan God. Where does that leave a legendary Super Saiyan?
I've got the power scaling is probably
the power
be
scaling
enormous.
In Dragon Ball Z is stupid. Like, okay.
And since Broly wasn't fucking canon before, they could do whatever they want with Fem Broly's power level.
They could. I'm just bothered because I'm like, you're trying to make a true sequel to Dragon Ball Z, but I feel like you're still considering GT canon, like in a weird way. Like how is GT canon when you have Super Saiyan God? Like, then what is Super Saiyan 4 to a god? I don't.
Wait, how is that? Like, Super Saiyan 4 didn't show up.
In GT it did.
No, I mean in Super.
Oh, not in Super, but like.
Nor was it talked about ever.
But the fact that, you know, they had a daughter named Pan.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's like linking GT, if anything, because like at the end of Z, you didn't have any idea that Pan would exist. They never mentioned her name. But then specifically in Super, when they're like, "Oh, we're having a daughter. Her name is Pan," that to me links it up with GT in some way.
Well, like, they're probably just cannibalizing it.
That and the fact that they're still featuring GT and Super Saiyan 4 like transformations in the video games.
Because Super Saiyan 4 just looks cool and people like it.
It is cool. Honestly, I will say this: I like Super Saiyan 4 a hell of a lot more than Super Saiyan God. Like, a hell of a lot more. It's actually, like, creatively, it's really cool. Like, you have the whole half Ozaru, half, like, human thing going. It's just got more shit. I don't know, like...
It's an actual, like...
physical transformation.
Yeah.
Where Super Saiyan God is, like... You just took Super Saiyan 1 and made his hair blue.
It's like, hey, first he was red and skinny, and now he's got Super Saiyan blue hair.
I actually liked it better when it was red. Like... When it was red, it looked pretty cool because it was just his default haircut.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. I'm like, that's different. But then it's like with this, it's just regular stock ass Super Saiyan hair. I mean, at least like Super Saiyan 2 had the more wilder hair. 3 had the fucking mane.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big dragon mane. Like, what about that? Like, like the natural evolution of Super Saiyan, from what I've seen, is you get more hair. Even when Super Saiyan 4, it made sense. The hair went to the chest and the arms. That makes sense.
But yeah, I do like the freaking particle effects that happen when they go Super Saiyan Blue, though.
It is cool. I will say that. Like, some of the effects are pretty cool. I don't think it looks good on... I definitely don't think it... Especially does not look good on Vegito. I'm like... The way that he is, like, the way he looks... Having blue hair looks weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
clashes with his clothes color scheme.
Yeah, like having red or gold hair. I mean, his hair's red, I'm pretty sure. It's like a dark red. And then, like, his gold Super Saiyan hair kind of just works with anything. And blue, though, I don't know. I like Super Saiyan Rose, though, in a weird way.
They didn't explain it in the anime, but they explained it in the manga.
What? The difference between Rose and God?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
It's just when somebody with God Ki goes Super Saiyan. It turns red instead of blue or gold.
That's interesting. So there's no difference really outside of just the key.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I'll buy it. Simple enough. But yeah.
This is one of those fucking things where it really pays to, like, pay attention to the manga and the anime. Because, like, each of them have little tidbits and things that, like, don't exist in the other, or like explain something in the other.
Yeah, I definitely think that. I think that goes with like a lot of things.
And it's not even like because it was cut. It's just the way that they're dealing with the script is weird, and I don't think anyone else has ever done it like this before. Where fucking Akira Toriyama just writes the script, kind of. It's like it's like dialogue and like a skeleton, I think. And then he just sends it to the animators, and he also sends it to the dude who is doing the super manga, and then they fill in the blanks themselves.
This is kind of something that I'm noticing a lot. Like, this might change manga, if you think about it. Like, this is never... Well, I'm not going to say this has never been done, but this is something fucking Togashi should do with Hunter x Hunter. Write it and let someone else draw it. Draw it, yeah.
Isn't it, like, all but confirmed that his wife is taking over?
I'm pretty sure. I need to... I haven't, like, actually looked into it in a little bit, but...
Yeah, that's just what I heard, like, a while ago.
Yeah. And, I mean, she's a really good artist. Pretty sure she drew Sailor Moon, so, yeah.
Drew Sailor Moon and cleaned up his fucking chicken scratches in the Chimera Ant arc.
Like, the one thing I was worried about with her art was fucking, hey, maybe... I'm hoping you don't make it look too much like a shoujo. But then I'm like, I read... specifically the fight with Chrollo and Hisoka, which, by the way, if that never gets animated, that would be in my lifetime, that would be the most tragic thing ever. That is like one of the best fights in Hunter x Hunter. Hands down. Hands fucking down. And there hasn't been a fight like...
In the anime, they need to tone down the narrator, though.
They do.
There's a lot of thinking and a lot of talking in that fight to explain what the fuck is going on.
Because there's a lot of fuckery.
Yeah.
But it is worth the wait, because up to this point, there hasn't been like a legit fight in like a while. Like a long time. The last fight there was I'm pretty sure when Hisoka fought the butler. And that was fucking...
That wasn't even a fight.
That was off.
Yeah.
But yeah. I just want to see more people do that. If they can't draw, just have someone else do it who, you know...
Because we're waiting here.
Pretty much.
I want to see petty ass Ahsoka.
Yeah, man, like... But yeah, on to, like, what you were saying about anime cutting corners with some things just to make it flow better. I noticed...
Well, it's not cutting corners. It's just making it work in an animated realm.
Yeah, I noticed Hero Academia did that with its first season. I feel like a lot of elements of it were streamlined to fit into 12 episodes. But I think they got the right studio, because Studio Bones is really good. They're very, very good at taking a series, a long-form series like that, and cutting it up into chunks.
They take shit seriously, chunks. And they put the budget and the time in.
Because boy, oh boy, like both the Deku versus Bakugo fight and the All Might versus Nomu fight. Oh fuck! so much spirit and love for the manga went into those fights.
Now on to another fucking 12 episode manga. Why the fuck was that ugly ass Berserk anime 12 episodes?
Oh. I never, you know what it is, like, watching it, I thought it was paced okay.
I like the way it's written and the sound effects are really nice.
Yeah, but like I'm pretty sure it's 1-to-1 mostly.
Yeah.
Like, they keep it, like, accurate. Fuck. No! DJ Khaled, get away. Yeah, they keep it mostly accurate. I think.
Like, that fucking... Something that classic should not be falling to goddamn anime world politics like it did.
Yeah.
Because, like, apparently didn't the dude, like, not even really like Berserk?
Yeah, Super Eye Patch Wolf made a whole video on it that, like, the guy who... We don't know, but, like, the guy who did the animation, like, the main animation director, just the director of the series as a whole, like, I don't think it's implied that he hates Berserk, but I don't think he loves Berserk. And you can tell that most of the shit he did since the Devil May Cry anime has just been short gag series with, like, minimalistic animation. The guy doesn't have much love for it. The animation team that they got was clearly not ready for, like,
something of this detail and magnitude.
Detail and caliber. And the direction's terrible. Look at that first fight scene. When Guts walks into the bar, first of all, filler, not in the manga. That is actually one thing. They did cut out a bunch of smaller arcs that happened before the arc the anime covers.
Yeah. Well, the bar scene is supposed to be like a smashed together version of events.
Yeah, but you could tell, especially with how slapdash it was.
Yep,
like,
I'm in here now. Someone gets murdered. There's a fairy. There's a child. All right, we're going on.
We don't know where we are physically in this bar, but like in what plane of existence. But you know,
like how is this bar structured? What the hell? Where is anything?
And it's like even with the DVD release, the Blu-ray release. Like, they touched up scenes. They did a pretty good job, like, salvaging what little they could of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, this is not what I want to see in the next arc. Like, I'm okay with them doing it for this one. Whatever. The Conviction arc is sort of its own weird contained thing anyway. But, like, you can't do this for the return of Griffith, the introduction of, like, trolls and fucking magical wizards and stuff.
Especially
you
for
fucking
can. I do not want an ugly version of when freaking Guts and Zod team up to fly through the lightning storm.
Oh, we probably won't get... If it's going to be 12 episodes again, we probably won't even get that next season. It's probably going to end on when Guts gets the armor.
Oh, yeah.
But they can't fuck that up either.
Yeah, most definitely.
They fucking can't. Like, I have a little bit of hope for that, though, because I will say, despite the problems I mostly have, I think the second half of that anime got better.
It did.
Like, considerably so. There were, like, CG scenes that moved fluidly. In the last fight was pretty good with Mazgus. Like, and then Zod's 3D model was better than the movie Zod 3D model. What the fuck? And he was colored right.
It was.
What the fuck? That's crazy. They actually made him blue. Wow. What? Good job. At least I always thought he was blue since playing the Dreamcast game. He was like a dark blue. And then I saw him in like the anime, and then the anime made him fucking like reddish brown. Then the movies...
They gave him like bear fur.
Yeah, the movies just made him straight up brown. Flat out. Now, this new series...
Is there any like colored splash pages?
I have no idea.
With Zod in it?
Maybe. I don't know. Like,
because unless the dude just tells him straight out what color Zod's supposed to be, I guess like you can't really fault them for miscoloring him.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm not even sure. Maybe it's like JoJo's where he doesn't have a canon color. I don't know. But, yeah, I guess.
Or like early Dragon Ball Z. When it's like when fucking Vegeta was on the way, his armor was a weird color and his hair was brown.
Dude, that's one thing about Hyper Dragon Ball Z. That is an alternate color for fucking Vegeta. That fucking color. They knew. They so knew, but...
Of course it is how fucking lovingly that game was made. And it's still being made.
Speaking of swords, and I actually, one thing before I move on, I did... I'm now donating to that man's Patreon, at least the sprite artist, Balthazar. Yeah, so I can keep up with like the new characters they've been working on. Apparently right now, it's looking like Super Boo Super next. And then I know they're going to do Go Tanks afterwards, but you know who's also really coming along? There's been no gameplay of him, but like sprite-wise, fucking Tien's coming along. So, yeah, I'm excited about that.
The last thing about freaking Berserk is like whoever designed the sound of that sword swinging and hitting things did a good job.
Oh my god. I want to know the step-by-step sound room procedure that it took to make those sounds.
Who lifted and swung that steel girder next to that microphone?
Yeah. But yeah, like, anyway, speaking of swords and anime, I went to both the Distant Worlds concert and KupoCon, both Final Fantasy related events. Fucking Distant Worlds was fucking lit.
Where was KupoCon?
In Newark.
How much did it cost?
Like, for my ticket, $40.
Huh.
I got like there's different tiers of tickets. You had the slow good ticket, which was only like 20 or 30.
Is it a 3-day event or a 1-day?
1-day event. It was very small. Like honestly, I'll get into it in a bit, but I was worried that it was gonna be an empty room con. I just wanted to do it because hey, it's an event happening right after the concert, and I figure we're probably gonna be there the next day. So give us something to do.
No, they timed it well. I wouldn't have foreseen that being an empty room con.
Yeah, and I was
like first of all they timed it with the concert.
I was gonna think it would be like a little bit of an above average empty room con. You know, at least like good cosplayers would be there. Maybe a vendor or two, maybe a guest. But they did pretty good. And the concert, though, speaking of which, I had no idea it was going to be a fucking suit and tie affair. I didn't bring a suit and tie. Neither did like 70% of the people who went anyway. So I didn't feel bad. But I was told at the last minute, like driving to Newark, I was being told like, fucking, oh, Bob, did you bring a suit? I'm like, no. Thanks, Dan. Shoutouts to Dan. You're not usual Dan. Dan. Typical Dan.
But yeah, fucking what, a suit to a con?
Well, no, the concert.
Oh,
because it was in a big concert hall. It was in the New Jersey Performing Arts Center.
Oh, fancy schmancy.
Yeah. But before that, we went to a place called Gundam Planet, which
it's still a nerd concert. Yeah. They're not gonna. I don't think they
didn't enforce it, but I noticed that like people were wearing suits, and so did Dan's friend Wendy. She wore something nice. And I was like, I felt weird not. Me and Herbie both were like, I guess we didn't.
It's like, we're underdressed.
Yeah, it was me, Dan, and Herbie, our friend. We drove to Newark, about like an hour away. We had a pretty nice hotel. The Hilton Inn, that's a good series of hotels. They have a pretty good free breakfast. Though I did think it was sus when the big lady started pouring orange juice into 3 of her Pepsi cans, but whatever. Free. That's some sus shit. But our first order of business was to go to Gundam Planet. Gundam Planet's lit. You gotta go, but I'm warning you. I'm warning you too. We go. We're not stopping if we're in Jersey. We're going straight. Like if you want food, a bathroom, anything, as long as we're in New York, that's fine. But if we need, I am not going off the beaten path in fucking Jersey. We got lost for like an hour trying to get to Wendy's.
Yeah.
Because we were like, okay, let's go. Like the concert's happening soon. Oh, we're hungry. Let's get food. There's Herbie's friends, part of his Final Fantasy 14 guild. You know, we met them in person, and they were like, they met us up at Gundam Planet, and they were like, oh, there's a Wendy's right around the corner. Okay. let's go to Wendy's.
How far right around the corner? Was it not in walking distance?
5 minutes? But I didn't want to leave my car in this neighborhood because we were kind of in a really crappy, shitty part of Newark. I will say that. I think it is Newark.
Dirty Jersey.
Dirty Jersey. The dirtiest part of Jersey. Who dat? Anyway.
It was an alarm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the dirtiest part of fucking Jersey. So, like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I didn't want to leave my car there too long. So I'm like, oh, let's just drive over there. It's 3 minutes away. That 3 minutes turned into like 15 or 20 minutes of us passing Wendy's 3 times because the roads are fucking retarded. And my GPS freaked the fuck out and didn't know what to do. This was the first time that I gave up on getting fast food. like already having the intent of getting fast food. I'm like, I'm gonna just get this cheap food quick and go. But it wasn't quick, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Not even.
Like, how much stuff did you have in your car?
What do you mean?
Like stealables.
Like Gunpla, and like a couple of other things, if I remember correctly. Like a couple, like I know I have Boss Monster still in my car, my 3DS.
I don't think somebody's stealing a
Nobody's stealing my fucking board games. But anyway, after Gundam Planet, we just ended up going to Burger King on the way. We went to the concert. Concert was about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It was really good. They basically played at least a song from every game. And even 15. And they said, like, even though it's super last second, we got a 15 song up on here. And it was great. And it's good to hear that these guys are actually doing some of the soundtrack for Final Fantasy VII Remake. So, good on them. Susan Calloway was there, the singer of the main Final Fantasy VIII theme and 2 of Final Fantasy XIV's main themes. Fantastic. And would you fucking believe it, but fucking Nobuo Uematsu was there. And he was just in the crowd. And then they had him come up, and then literally everybody's like, encore, encore. And then like the main head, guy of the concert is like, all right. And then they play fucking One Winged Angel to close it out.
If he came down there, they're fucking playing One Winged Angel.
Yeah. I'm like, they played all the things I wanted them to play. They played both of the fucking main themes of 14. They played, Dragon Song and Answers. They played fucking To Xanarkand, which I was like, I can die happy. I heard To Xanarkand live. And then they played One Winged Angel, and it was really, really good.
Yeah, I saw like this interview thing about like him doing concerts and stuff like that. He was like, if I'm playing, there's always gotta play One Winged Angel. It gets such a pop. People love it,
dude. No, because it does, because the guy's like, all right, when the note happens, when it drops, when to say Sephiroth, and everybody did, and it was fucking great.
Yeah, the crowd the fucking
Sephiroth.
The room shakes with Sephiroth.
Like normally it would be cringy, but in this case it's not, because like it's so well produced. This show. Like, you actually can tell they really care about the games. Especially trying to get 15 out. Like, trying to get a 15 song out as quickly as they did. They're like, oh, the game just came out a few months ago, but hey, we got a theme. We got it here.
We managed to practice that shit for a week. We got it down.
Yeah, and it wasn't even one that was, like, that complicated. It was still a good one. Like, I guess the difficulty is they can never get the main theme of that game there, because it's a Florence and the Machine song. You'd have to get Florence in the Machine, and that's probably money. But yeah, that was.
And even at the very least, if you perform it, you probably still gotta pay him. Yeah, you most likely still gotta pay him.
Yeah, and then after that, actually before KupoCon that night, we went out to eat with Herbie's guildmates, and I want to give a quick shout out to Mizuwa Market. That is a cool market, literally across the street from fucking New York City. A big Japanese market shopping center. Has like a little toy store, has a little bookstore with like manga and shit. Has the market itself full of authentic Japanese food. You could get like legit ramen there. Like, and it was fucking amazing. Like the salt ramen's just I certainly wasn't salty that night. Aside from the ramen. Damn. They have the good ass steaks.
Yeah, I saw those pictures you put up. I was like,
fucking
jealous piece of shit.
Yeah.
But it did spur me to be like, I need to step up my ramen game. So I looked up a whole bunch of stuff online on how to make it, and I went and bought some ingredients.
Oh, good.
So I'm probably gonna.
Yeah, I might have to.
It's like too. I'm gonna make some like official one, but that's gonna take time. So for now, it's just gonna be quick breakfast ones. Yeah, or quick lunch ones.
Gotta step it up.
Shout outs to Brothers Green.
Is that an actual thing?
Huh? Yeah, the Brothers Green. They do a cooking YouTube channel thing,
and they show.
And they've actually been on like TV and shit. So
that's sick.
But they still keep up with their YouTube, and like they have like. The way they show you how to cook is like comprehensive and very easy to understand, and they give you tips to like how to make stuff taste fancy, like, and that's also cool. They have like series upon series of cooking on a budget. So,
well, I definitely need to check that out. I'm down for that shameless plug.
Yeah, because I met them I met one of the dudes at Empty Room Con.
But speaking of a potentially empty...
He had a table up and he was making food.
That's sick. Speaking of potentially Empty Room Con, thankfully the Kupo Con was not an Empty Room Con. It was pretty small, but they had like 6 or 7 vendors there. They had guests, like Ray Chase, as I mentioned before, was there, the official voice actor of Noctis. Got to meet him. Super duper cool dude, actually. Like, way cooler than you'd think.
Did you get him to say it?
What?
Nothing personal, kid.
No, I didn't, unfortunately. I actually, like, but you know what everybody did get him to say? Like, he did his Ignis impersonation and did, I've come up with a new recipe. It was terrible, but he's not the Ignis voice actor. You gotta get the real article in next time, guys. Though Ray Chase is great. He was talking about, like, he got to talk about, like, the production of, like, the voice acting for 15, and he says, like, saying shit like Square Enix really does care. At least, like, that team really cared about voice acting, so, like, all the voice acting... All the intended voice acting for the game it ended up in the game. Because unlike a lot of voice actors, Ray Chase played 15. He even said, like, it's great, I played it. Yeah. I played the game that I voiced in. It's awesome.
So, like, hardly anything was cut?
And I know, like, specifically voice acting-wise, he said the only thing he could remember that might have been cut was specifically some kid who just runs up to you and goes with a finger gun and goes, bang, bang, bang! I shot you, you gotta shoot back! And then, like, and then he did in his Noctis voice, like, what the line would have been that Noctis says, and then he goes, bang? Like, literally the biggest pop, because it was funny as shit. Just, like, the most, like, oh, bang? I guess they didn't include it in the game because shooting kids and shit. No, that's not okay.
Or maybe it was just annoying to program and they just decided to not do it.
But he was saying, like, the game took about 10 years. Like, the idea of the game was in 10 years. Like, was around for 10 years. But the game itself did not... what's the word I'm looking for? Like... The game wasn't in actual full-on development until 3 years ago.
Yeah, because it was going through... It kept passing hands and going through fucking development hell.
So I can understand to some degree as to why that game is not mega unfinished. Like, why the game's kind of... Not sort of unfinished. Like, loose ends not tied. But I think for what they were able to accomplish, the game's still really good. And the game fucking surprisingly feels complete. Like, gameplay-wise and, like, content-wise. Just not so much story-wise. Which, I mean... Look, the fact that the fucking director's like, I owe up to the fact that I didn't have enough time to finish the game, so I'm literally going to just give you free DLC that fills in the blanks.
Mm-hmm. With the weird fucking gaps with the movie and the, like, game and...
See, here's my problem with that, actually. They tried to alleviate the movie thing already by adding movie cutscenes into the game at specific points. But I think that actually just served to make it more confusing, in my opinion. Like, they should have just told, not showed. You know what I mean? Like, because they go into detail what happened to Insomnia, the city. Like, Noctis and friends are far as fuck away. They don't know what the fuck is happening. It's like, your city just fell. What? It's like, and I don't think they they treat that with the gravity that they do, because it's like Insomnia fell. Insomnia is gone. It's off the map. It's gone. That is how fucking hard they got wrecked in the movie. It is gone. But I feel like they don't treat it like that, and it's weird. Like, there's weird bits in that game, but you can tell like they were strapped for time, and they had to like make the best game that they could with, you know, the resources that they had in 3 years.
Mm-hmm. And like, I also hear that the whole putting the fucking movie cutscenes is kind of jarring in a way, because like there's no cutscenes of that quality in the game. Actually, for the rest of the game.
Well, there sort of is, but it's like, it's not so much that.
Not to down talk the game's cutscene quality. I'm just saying
the in-game
that's to up talk how fucking amazing the movie looks.
But I'm saying there are actual like pre-rendered cutscenes that are of the movie quality. The thing that makes the movie weird is that the voice actors are different for the King, Luna Freya, and then like main insert hero that's voiced by the guy who voiced Jesse from Breaking Bad. Who literally is like a one and done character. But Nyx, I think his name is, I forget, whatever. Yeah, like the fact that their faces were modeled after the actors that were voicing them.
Oh yeah.
Because they had real actors voice them for this movie. So it's weird. Like King Regis doesn't really look like the same in the game as he does in Kingslave. It's really fucking weird. Like, structurally it looks a little similar, but not completely. Neither does the King of Niflheim or Luna Freya. Like, Nyx is not in the game. He is a movie exclusive, so I guess we don't have that problem. But it's like you don't even really need to watch the movie though. Like, you kind of do, but not really. Like, I feel like a lot of it isn't. There's not like, it's not like 13 where it dumps like impossible lore on you by like the bucket loads. It actually is a pretty straightforward like world and lore, like, I feel. But back to the con though, like, the con was really good, and apparently it was done by the Kupo cast guys. They run a different podcast, I forget what it's called, but it's like a general gaming podcast. And apparently they went through hell setting this thing up, because the main guy setting up the convention and the leader of the podcast died in a pretty tragic car accident a few weeks ago.
Damn.
Yeah, so...
And I guess all his name was on all the stuff?
They had that in a Funko Pop figure of him that was custom made that you could purchase. Yeah, like, it's not his name, but like, well, they're a group. So
no, I mean like maybe he was like the head of finances for like getting the ball rolling on this thing.
Well, I mean specifically his. It was a group effort, like, but he like came up with. He had the idea and he did the most of the planning. Yeah. The other two, they were around to help, and they definitely killed it at this con. Like they knocked it out of the park. Everybody who worked there everything was on fucking time. It was on time, and what's crazy is that the way the con was laid out, no events really overlap. Like, no, like, important events really overlap one another, because going to events, you can get triple triad cards for free. That's how I have that deck upstairs. Free, they're called Tripom cards, and they have custom artwork, and, they're really, really cool. And you get, like, a quest log. Yeah, you get an actual physical quest log, where it's like, go to this thing, and then you get this. Participate in that event, and you get that. And yeah, it was cool. They actually managed to do it.
That sounds pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, they fucking did it.
Yeah, I saw the picture of those cards. They look like shrunken down, really good prints.
Yeah, I actually did. No, I purchased a print. You could purchase full prints there too. They were $5 a piece.
Huh.
And that's good art. So I'm like, I gotta get a frame and hang that shit up as soon as possible. But yeah, no, that was a great convention. They had Ray Chase there. Mr. Happy was there, YouTube personality for Final Fantasy 14. He was there. I wasn't expecting that. My boys were there. Ultima Final Fantasy podcast. Fucking Joseph DeGolier and Caleb Schweiss. They were there. They did a panel where it was like remembering classic Final Fantasy games, and who better to get but them, because their podcast was literally built around like, we have not played every Final Fantasy game, but we're gonna now. and they actually played all the mainline ones already, and so that was like what this was, just them looking back and talking about their experiences and what they thought of each game. Susan Calloway was there too, singer from of the songs that I mentioned, and was at the opera, concert. Not opera, but it was in an opera house, basically. That's what I felt like. Yeah, it was a fucking phenomenal convention. Some kick-ass cosplayers. Like, what was really adorable is that there was a family with one little girl, kid, and that came out weird anyway. One little girl, kid.
The little girl child.
Little girl child, you could say. That's, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it was the dad was Auron, mom was Lulu, daughter was Yuna. And she actually won the costume contest, because not only was it just because she was a little girl, but her cosplay was pretty fucking legit. They did a kick-ass job with that cosplay. Being like, she had like a little glowing staff even. Like, that's crazy. Like a little light-up staff. It looked like an actual prop that came from like something official. But of course, my boys got second place, runner-up. Tidus and Waka, the best people at the con, the best. They were playing blitzball with each other the whole time. And when he got up on stage, he's like, "You better not use that Makina, you hear?" Killed me. And fucking Tidus did the laugh.
Of course he did.
He had to, and he did it really good.
I was calling you. Oh.
Everybody's calling you.
Hello? I'm out. For a while. Somebody was probably trying to get me to do something.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, and the vendors were pretty cool. Nothing crazy. I got some bead art, but I was able to get again, if you buy something from the vendors, you get a Tri-Palm card. So I was like, I gotta do it. They had fucking mugs there. I couldn't afford them. They were like $50.
Damn.
But they were legit mugs. Well, not mugs, like beer, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the see-through beer glasses?
Oh,
the big one?
Just fucking call it a mug. Yeah.
Giant beer mugs that had, like, the Grand Company logos from 14 on them. And I'm like, I would get a Maelstrom one. Sea-bearing pirates. And they had actual events like fucking...
I would drink beer of that all the time.
Yeah. Fucking Yu Yevon Yoga happened. Dan participated in that. He would. Yu Yevon Yoga. And that was... They just had a lot of fun events. Like, they did a really good job with this convention. Had a great turnout. It was like 200, 300 people showed up. And it was in the Robert Treat Hotel, so it was in like just a hotel lobby, a big hotel event hall.
That's usually where startup cons are at.
Yeah, and they killed it. I think they're gonna do it again. And again, that they were dedicated to this because the new guy running it, like the guy who usually runs KupoCon in Britain, because that's the thing. This is usually happens in England. But
because I felt like I did hear about it before.
The guy who the head guy who runs KupoCon brought it over to America because these podcast guys, the KupoCast, wanted it here. And so they were like the main guys who got it going here. So bless this guy. Like, he had to go, even though he got the con sickness the second he entered the room. He was losing his voice you could feel his voice slowly dying, but he's like, "For you guys, I give my soul. I'm sharing my energy." But yeah, it was a really good con, and I think that was honestly probably one of my favorite conventions I've been to. Just because of how pure it was. You know, it was like
just the energy of the fans.
By the fans for the fans. This was not an official Square Enix event either. Neither was Distant Worlds actually. Neither of these are official Square Enix events, but it just goes to show how strong the fan base really is, and
how cool fucking Square Enix is about stuff like this.
They fucking are.
They could have
talk.
They could have easily just have been dicks and just were like no and just shut it down.
But this is why I love Final Fantasy so much, because I feel like it just has one of the biggest, like, tightest communities that, like, I honestly feel like is lacking of cringe. There was not one cringy thing I really saw at the con. I did cringe a little bit when one of the con runners, like one of the volunteers, brought out the Chocobo puppet. I cringed a little bit, but I couldn't help but smile because I'm like, that had work put into it. Mm-hmm. That's cute. Like it was a really elaborate puppet on the feet of the Chocobo. It had little slippers, so like you just make it move like realistically, and it had it run around the Chocobo egg game, like to push eggs over to help people out. I'm like, that's cute. Like in any other instance, that would be a little, but like it's skirting the line. But it worked. It worked really well.
Yeah, like usually, fucking they put time into thinking about this. They had to have planned out every single detail and probably even had backups just in case things fail. Because like usually startup cons are a fucking mess.
Yeah. This was not a mess, though. Like, and again, this wasn't technically their first, but you could tell it was the first American version. They didn't have the whole staff who does it from England, just the one dude. The rest are pretty much brand new to doing stuff like this.
Yeah, I guess one of the reasons why it wasn't a mess is because they already had a skeleton framework laid out. Because it's not a fresh new con. It's a relocate. It's a con opening up a new branch, basically.
And what I liked about the guests is that both, and this is also why I do kind of regret not bringing camera, is that both the Ultima Final Fantasy cast and Mr. Happy, it wasn't like they were super chill. Like they were like on the level of when we interviewed Team 4-Star that won too many games, and it went on for like fucking 15-20 minutes. That chill. Because they're not like as established, you know what I mean? Like Mr. Happy would get that kind of level of pop if it was a Final Fantasy 14 exclusive event, but because it wasn't and they didn't really say he was coming, it was kind of more of a last second arrangement. Like he was just chill. He actually just walked around the convention most of the day, just being a guest.
He had a panel.
Yeah, him and apparently the head admin of Final Fantasy 11 and 14 Reddit. Honestly, I love Mr. Happy, don't get me wrong. That probably was the weakest panel, only because like he didn't have the squad. Like it's because usually the squad is Mr. Happy, Sly the Fox, Ethis Asher, who's basically Vati Vidya of Final Fantasy 14 lore. Legit basically. And Very Merry, who's like the funny fuck boy of the crew. Makes just those really funny how to play blank class videos that are not really good but funny. I could show you one after this because fucking his How to Paladin video is one of the most fucking pants on head retarded things ever. I love it. It doesn't even give you a fucking iota of what you need to do with the class. He just wanted to make this video. I don't even think he likes Paladin. But like, yeah, he didn't have the people that he usually has on his podcast with him. So, and I don't really know this Reddit guy. Like, he's probably well known in the hardcore community, particularly the Final Fantasy 11 community. I didn't play that game, so I don't know. But like, I feel like I couldn't put a face to him. You know what I mean? Even if I knew who he was, I can't put a face to him like I could these other guys. And I feel like the banter would have been better. But Ethis lives in Australia, so that'd be hard. Sly, I don't know what he's doing. And I don't know what fucking I guess Mary's doing his thing. Yeah, just Happy could come out. So, you know, he was good. The panel was just about, hey, we got to get you guys into 14. It's a really good game. And I like the idea, but I don't think it really was 100% on topic with that. So, They mostly just talked about the development history of the game. That's it. Which it wasn't too interesting because it didn't really have a picture to go to it. And also, I could honestly direct... There's a video series that's currently ongoing that literally talks about that game in length. About the 1.0 or before 1.0 even to now. Like how that game went from being an atrocity to like the fucking like the worst thing ever to like the best thing ever. And it's really good. Even if you're not into the game, that's a good watch. You learn about its crazy development history. Because even if you're even into that, that'd be fun.
But yeah, so I guess the panel wasn't really...
It wasn't that strong, but you know...
It wasn't that strong for you because you're already playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you.
But even for people who don't play the game, I don't think they did they didn't do an amazing job selling it. That's I guess my problem is that I feel like if they focused more on selling the game to people, maybe if they had like a projector with pictures or whatever, like or video, like to show off, that'd be stronger. But it was kind of just these two talking about the game, and yeah, that's fine. I just didn't think it was the strongest thing. But Ultima Final Fantasy, that was fun because you got to hear their, genuine reaction in detail about each game. So, hey. It was still good, though. I'm glad it came out. I'm glad they all came out. I'm glad it happened, period.
I can imagine the Ultima one being better because they have more of a free-form thing to work off of.
Yeah, they're really funny dudes. It's just the two of those guys, and then sometimes they'll have, like, their main forum people... And like one of their friend other Caleb, their friend other Caleb. I forget his last name, but like I'm pretty sure sometimes they just call him other Caleb. But like yeah, they were great, and they basically just did what they do on the podcast, just the same back and forth. I mean, again, those guys are kind of like. They're super ingrained in the podcast culture. They not only have Ultima Final Fantasy, but they have a Godzilla podcast. They have a fan fiction podcast, Super Sexy Swinging Fan Fiction. And they have Nude Clan, which is a just general gaming podcast. So they're no strangers to just podcasting.
Has Matt been on their Godzilla podcast yet?
I don't know, actually. I haven't actually checked it out yet. I didn't know I actually didn't look at their main website until super recently. I just followed their YouTube channel. But, like, I looked at their website and I'm like, oh, wow, they have, like, all these podcasts. And they're all just as good. So it's like, you don't have to be into Final Fantasy to listen to these guys. They've got it going on in a lot of areas. A lot of sections of geek culture. The weird one, Super Sexy Swinging Fan Fiction used to be a part of Ultima Final Fantasy, but it slowly kind of, as you'd expect, branched off and became something far more than Final Fantasy. Just fan fiction. Fan fiction. and the picture's just like one of the more iconic like beach shoot cosplay photo shoots of what's it called? What's her face from Final Fantasy X? Riku cosplayer, but then fucking Caleb's face is just pasted on it. So that's pretty funny.
Speaking of fucking fan fiction, I gotta get back to fucking watching fantasy fiction.
Same here. Have they? I don't think they've been updating much lately, have they?
I think they have, and that's one of the reasons why I remember it. I think they dropped an episode like maybe a couple of weeks ago, but. Yeah, I'm not really subscribed to it because I'm so not caught up that I don't want to see any new episodes in my feed.
Mm-hmm.
So like until I catch up, I'm gonna hold off on subscribing.
But yeah, what was I gonna say? Also, one thing I did the past few days actually is I watched a documentary called The Kings of Chinatown, a fighting game community documentary. And it's all on YouTube. It's worth watching because you get to see how much of a piece of shit Triforce is. Fuck him! He is an asshole! He is a piece of shit! Fuck Empire Arcadia! That whole team! and this is me as a TO saying this. Fuck him. Because Triforce is actually legitimately a big piece of shit. So, I am not exaggerating. The only thing I heard over the past few years about Triforce was just the fucking, oh no, Triforce stole my food, guys, help me, on Twitter. Like, Triforce kind of just got food with someone, didn't pay, and left. He's one of those. I mean, that should already tell you. That's already ill tidings to his character.
But now there's an entire documentary,
God.
which is basically fucking
Triforce
exposed.
I dove the fucking... And that's the thing. I don't think they intentionally made it. Not everything in it is him being exposed, but I feel like the guy making the documentary... Like, okay, so...
He's just so prevalent that it couldn't help but expose the shit out of him.
Oh my god. So, like... The documentary is primarily about Justin Wong's rise in the Street Fighter 4 years. And, like, Justin Wong used to be a part of Empire Arcadia. Who leads Empire Arcadia? Fucking Triforce. Mm-hmm. So Triforce had to shoehorn his fucking dumpy ass into this goddamn documentary, too. Mm-mm. And, like, first of all, I hate his voice. You hear him, and you know he's an asshole. He's like, I gotta make a business out of it, okay? We're going to make a business out of Justin Wong. He's going to be the guy that people see who plays the game. I'm going to do it, okay? But, like, I think the thing that really told me what kind of a person he is there was a scene in the documentary where Justin Wong is saying, like, you know, why he plays fighting games. He does it to support his grandma. That's what he said. Like, his, you know, sick grandma and his family. And, like... Triforce then comes in. I don't even know if they intended to get this on camera. Triforce comes in and goes, Justin, what did I tell you to say? Did you say the thing about your grandma? I'm like, what the fuck? That's fuck. Did you tell him? Are you, like, forcing him to say this on camera? What if he doesn't want to say it? Wow. And now it makes so much sense that Yipes left EMP. And, like, EMP ruined Marvel 3 for him.
And it's like... Yipes is by no means a saint, but...
I mean, I don't know what Yipes do, but, like, damn, dude, like, Triforce is such a piece of shit. I watched that documentary, and then I watched when L.I. Joe used to do the L.I. Joe show. Like, where he just, I guess, had random people on and interviewed him on stream. I don't know why he stopped doing that. I never asked. He had Triforce on the show, and Triforce for like 48 minutes literally just went off like, fuck Jabali, that cocksucking motherfucker. CEO's gonna... I'm like, what the fuck, Triforce? Like, 1 minute ago he's talking about running a professional business, but then he's just like, fuck Jabali, fuck Evo, the West Coast don't give a fuck about the East Coast. They only use us to fuel hype, but they don't support us. Like, I don't know how true he was in that time. Maybe he was. He probably was. But he's being a giant asshole about it.
Could be a combination of his own bias and some truth.
But it's like...
Because you usually don't get mad and blow up if you don't think something's true.
His plan is stupid. Like, it didn't make any sense because he's like, if they're not going to give us, like, teams that are supported by sponsors, then what we should do is form a coalition of fighting game... A coalition of fighting game fighting game tournament organizers, and just say no to the West Coast. Just be like, oh, we're not having our players come to EVO or whatever until we make an agreement to help us out. And like, dude, I swear the whole time...
My brain just fucking glossed over most of that. What?
Like, he's saying shit like that. And the best part about it is that, like, in the background, you can faintly hear L.I. Joe and his boys just cackling. he just goes off. He just goes the fuck off. In the video, it's, like, literally labeled every time he fucking, like, pops off at somebody or something. Man. Like, it makes so much sense that guy, like, apparently he fucked off to, like, Jamaica or whatever.
Who?
Triforce. Yeah, he just... By the way, he still wears a power glove everywhere he goes. He's one of those. That's how you know. Leon, I see the face you're making.
Cringy motherfucker.
I see that face you're making. Triforce is such a piece of shit. Oh my god.
You gotta fucking just put a link to that shit in my YouTube. In my Facebook chat.
Oh, it's a long documentary, but it's pretty good.
Oh, it's a documentary. So.
Yeah. And just that L.I. Joe thing, you could just have that, put it on listen. Like, that shit's a riot. Like, I'm pretty sure there's 2 of them. I didn't watch the second one, but like he's just going around being, like, talking about being professional and then calling people dick suckers and whatever. Like, shut up.
It's like, yeah, very professional, that guy.
Yeah, he's like... And then literally towards the end, like, Triforce is just like, you guys need to come together and just shut the West Coast out until they make an agreement with us. And then literally Joe and then the other 2 guys who are in the chat and Skype, or TOs, they're like, dude, we've tried.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, Triforce, please stop. We tried. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just shit happens, man. It's out of our control. We can't really you can't do much. And he's like, yeah, you can. Go Z Sports.
You try hard enough. You do it. Do it.
Yeah. By the way, I know Spencer's probably going to be here soon, so we probably have to call it in a sec. But I just want to point one thing out before we go. While we're talking about the FGC.
Yeah. I didn't do much this week anyway, so this is going to be pretty quick.
I'm sorry. Fuck. All I'm going to say is just fuck Evo for putting Marvel not on the main headline. What the fuck? Putting that up for votes. Why I gotta do that?
Putting what?
So Marvel 3, Pokken, Killer Instinct, and a bunch of other games are being voted on Generosity.com, a donation site. All this money's going to charity, by the way. Mm-hmm. To be what will be on the main stage at EVO. Or just what will be a tournament at EVO, the 9th game. It's kind of like been... quite an upset because I don't love Marvel 3, but Marvel made Evo. Marvel fucking made Evo. How are you
and
just...
also, like, now that the new one's coming out, this might be the last, big Marvel 3 tournament, so...
Yeah. Yeah, Spencer's apparently in traffic anyway. He said traffic is literally giving me cancer. Oh, man. So that's all I wanted to say. And also, if you want more info, just look up on Yipes' Twitch. He literally had a whole rant about it and how bullshit it is because that literally made them. And they're literally only doing this because it doesn't get as many views. Dead game. Hey guys, the next Marvel's coming out. Well, you gave it the same send-off. Like, you gave Marvel 2 the same send-off for Marvel 3. Why can't you do the same Marvel 3 going to Infinite? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. They're not making sense with it. It seemed pretty obvious. It's like new games coming out. Just put it on the stage.
Speaking of which, I'm just going to pop up the Generosity right now just to show this whole thing is pointless because guess what, boys? Fucking, there it is. Marvel's fucking in the lead. What did you think would happen? What the fuck did you think would happen?
By a gigantic margin, too.
Yeah. Pokken is pretty close. Now, I will say that.
Pokken is surprisingly close.
But I'm a little mad about that because Pokken was like, not only is this an older version of the game that's in Japan, so you're probably not going to get that many international players, but like, the game's dead in America. The game scene is just dead.
Yeah, I have not heard not hide nor hair about
There's
Pokken
actually, someone
since
posted
release,
on Twitter a record of the tournaments last year that supported Pokken, and they got increasingly smaller and smaller. And just the attendance were very small to the ones that did. But Marvel was supported across the board. Even KI was supported across the board. I wouldn't even be that mad if KI won. Like, real talk. But, like, then you have... Why is ARMS here? Like, can we talk about that? The game's not even fucking out yet. We don't even know if it's going to be a competitive game. ARMS?
I think they threw it up there because they expect it to be, like... more meta and not challenging because it's a fucking Nintendo game.
ARMS doesn't need to be there.
It doesn't.
Evo, like Street Fighter Super Turbo, I like Super Turbo, but even Super Turbo players are like, we don't need to be at Mandalay Bay. Fucking Evo, like Mortal Kombat XL, NetherRealm players. They're just going to move to Injustice. Moving on. Nidhogg? No. Anyway, I mean, that would be kind of hype, but fuck.
Like, for something like on... That's a side tournament.
That
right
is.
There.
Stop.
Nidhogg and Windjammers are side tournaments.
Yeah. Skullgirls? Alright. Well, I'll level with you there. Windjammers? Now, I love Windjammers, but...
You love us some Windjammers.
I love Windjammers, but do I think it deserves to be at the main stage like Marvel? No. I already explained Pokken. The only two that I could see is Killer Instinct and Marvel, and that's it. Like, real talk. Even then, like, I kind of don't want KI because people, especially certain people that I know that I won't name, are being really condescending about it. It has to be at EVO. Oh, it's going to be at EVO. It'll get the vote over Marvel and all these other games.
What?
Like, just the KI players are talking about that. And I'm like, that's one thing I hate about KI.
Considering how dead Pokken is, I'm like, who's...
Because these are normies that like Pokemon. You know how big Pokemon is. You know how big it is. That's literally the only reason.
That was because, like, looking at this, I wasn't really considering the attendees or the watchers. I was thinking about, like, the players.
Pokken was leading for a little while. It was leading over Marvel, but that quickly got snuffed out when Yipes made his video on Twitch. So, and shout-outs to those guys for every tournament. There's, like, 3 fighting game tournaments that had Marvel. 2 of them passed. Well, 1 of them passed. That was Frosty Faustings. Each one of them had proceeds going towards this. So, Curly Mustache is coming up, and then one other thing, all the proceeds going to fucking this. Fucking Marvel, man. Like, I may not love Marvel 3, but look, it deserves to be there. We can't front about that.
Yeah, this is going to be its last major.
You gotta send it off. You have to send it off. You have to send every game off. Street Fighter 4 got to send off. Ooh, fucking everybody hated that game. Like, everybody hates Street Fighter 5 now. So, what about your week? My bad.
But yeah,
Spencer's stuck in the traffics.
Mostly been getting my money together. Finally bought a fucking replacement screen for my laptop.
Hey.
So smoke breaks are gonna be happening.
Smoke break.
What else? I fucking finished. I've been fucking just starting a bunch of anime. And I finished all of my Teenage Love Snafu.
Is it good?
I like it a lot, but I feel like I lost a bunch doing multitasking, reading and watching. Because it kind of gets wordy and like kind of like poignant, like because the main character is like a very introverted, like introspective, like thinky guy. And like I
watched like an episode of it. I liked what I saw.
If I'm gonna go back to it, then like I gotta see if there's a dub or something. Cause I feel like I got it.
I think it's getting dubbed at least.
Like I got it, but I feel like I missed a lot. But still, I still really liked it. Also, freaking DJ apparently fucking put this show on a queue. What was it? Something hard, double hard. And it's this freaking old, like, first of all, it looks like a PlayStation. It looks like PlayStation 2 like cutscenes.
You would find something like that. That fuck.
Like it looks like cutscenes for like a freaking Bancho Badass Rumble sort of game.
Bancho? Oh my god. Is it actually good though?
Yeah, and like the style and like the animation is like cut like manga panels. So it's like sick. It's like they'll be acting and then like a panel will slide in, like the dude's eyes like ding.
So it's sort of a weird experimental thing like Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Yeah. Oh. And it like the CG is weird and like if they just did something, if they did more with the shading, it'd probably look better. But as it stands, it's not terrible looking. And it's obviously based off of something very 90s.
That's cool.
Because of you like the way that they didn't update the way they dress or nothing like that. It's like straight up take this 90s manga, this 90s Bancho manga. Well, this I can't really say Bancho. I'll stick with Bancho. Take this 90s Bancho manga, just throw it right on the screen. Just like don't update it. I watched the first 3 episodes of that. I like it. I started this really, really dumb anime.
That the way you said that, you already regret it. It sounds like
bottle in the hand. No, I'm going to see this through because I really like the concept because it's so dumb.
What is it?
It starts out with this art student who.
What was it called?
Seiko Boys.
Oh.
SEKKOBOY. Well, you know how to fucking spell boys.
Yeah, boys.
And it's about this woman who's managing a boy band. But the boy band is just literally 4 marble busts of like Greek gods.
No.
And the way it got set up is hilarious because like this girl was an art student and she was just sick and tired of contemporary art classes where it's like draw a still life, now draw this apple, now draw this marble bust, now draw this marble bust, now draw this marble bust, now draw this marble bust. And she's like, fuck, I hate this, I want to draw real people, you know what, fuck art, fuck marble busts, I'm out. And she just leaves and joins a company, freaking like advertisement management company, and it was like your first. He's like, we got you your first clients. You're gonna be working with a boy band. And she's like, yeah. And then she walks in, 4 marble bucks.
Say no more. I need to watch this.
And they talk.
Oh, I need to watch this now.
Like the meta is really weird because like they talk and everybody knows it. Like it's not like she's crazy and imagining them talking. They talk to people. They talk to everyone, and they're kind of animate sometimes. It's like, but like they don't move their lips or anything. It's literally just a photo. They took photos of marble busts and just put them in the anime.
What is it called? I just want to see a picture. Seiko Boys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
so dumb.
No. I need to watch it now. And I need to tell Dan, because I think Dan would like this stupid show. But what else did you check out, other than Seiko Boys and Friends?
I watched the first episode. It's doing like a simuldub. I don't know how far away the Japanese dub of it, but Saga of Tanya the Evil.
Yeah.
Started watching that.
I've been hearing a lot of mixed things.
I like it, and I like the way that it starts up in the anime than in the manga, because the manga just kind of cuts straight to the chase on like who Tanya is and what happened to her to make her who she is right away. Where instead it just starts out with Tanya in the war fighting.
That sounds cool.
But yeah, like I like the fact that they're building to like. First, they're building her character, and then they're gonna go into like what exactly is the deal with her, anime wise. And the dub is really good. I like the dub. I'm probably gonna stick with that.
Yeah, I've just been watching a lot of Iron Blooded Orphans myself. I caught myself up, and I think I talked to you about it, but I'm gonna say it again. It's like the best Gundam series in literally fucking 5 years? Wow.
I got a lot of Gundam stuff that I neglected to watch that I gotta watch.
You should watch. I definitely think you should, at the point now, you should put Iron Blooded Orphans as a priority. I think that one is fantastic. Either that or Double O. Double O is really good.
Also,
Thunderbolt?
Yeah, I still have
Thunderbolt's mad easy. That's 4 episodes.
Like I said, I'm far behind. I haven't even watched fucking Unicorn yet.
that's pretty easy too. It's just a couple movies. Though you could watch. I guess you could watch the series because there's a series. Like,
is it just a retelling of the movies or what?
I'm pretty sure it's just a retelling. But anyway, our Spencer boy is here. So, I guess any closing things you just want to say?
Like I said, my laptop's gonna be fixed, so
Expect more breaks.
Yep.
But on the next break of Dragon Break Z.
Oh, this is going straight up on the TeamNotCrash. This one is a fucking Podcrash.
Oh yeah, you want this to be a Podcrash, not a smoke break?
Yeah, because we did a lot of anime talk. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, good point. All right. Well, and the next Podcrash is I don't know when we do it. Mm-hmm. At this point.
Yeah, that's just how it's gonna roll.
When we fucking want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Super Tool shedding it up.
Yeah, we're probably gonna once I don't know if I want to get a. Oh yeah, you gotta tell me about like how the new firmware for the 3DS works and shit like that.
Yeah, I could tell you about that after.
So that we can fucking start streaming some Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I could tell you about that after on the way, but for right now, we're out.
Peace.
Hooray! I don't know what that noise was.